sounding exquisite.
Oh shit, we back again. What's up, what's happening? Come to the party and bring a friend. Fuck it, I'm bringing 10. Ooh, trying to chat a 10. Big boy trying to chat a 10. She said I was catchy. I said, yo, tap him in.
Touchdown!
Double cup, wow, I stuck smile when I puff loud. I touch clouds, catching touchdowns in my mind now, cause I'm zoned out. On a porch couch in the Zod cloud. 2 coughs and I'm back now. 2 coughs and I'm packed out. Somebody give me a drink before I gotta sit down. I'm making hits now with a smooth style.
What's up, everybody? I am your host, Dr. Preston Rowe, defensive backs quality control coach, and I am joined this time with a very special guest, Shamar Orca brother, a diehard Seahawks fan. We are so happy to have you here, Shamar. Riley, unfortunately, cannot be here. He's on a road trip right now. Hopefully, he's watching, though. That would be pretty cool. But, Shamar, how you doing, man?
Hey, I'm doing good. Always happy to be back on the TTT, you know.
Yes,
Trying
sir.
to go get some special lessons from Dr. Preston Rowe over here about some football.
Mm-hmm.
Always ready. Always ready.
Always. We really appreciate you stopping by, man. Hopefully, we can have you on the show more often. It's always a good time.
I'm here for it.
Yes, sir. All right. So first of all, we are going to get to some this or that we debuted last week, and we are really oh shit, Dr. Preston rocks. I appreciate that, Galen Ross. Let's go.
Hey.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. All right. So first of all, we are going to get to this or that a little bit later, but first we do have to start with one of our favorite punching bags of the NFL. They are the notorious poverty franchise, the Cincinnati Bengals. We have to get started with that. And they've had not one, but 2 contract disputes, Shamar. So, yeah, dude, 2. So here we go. So first, let's talk about their first round pick, Shamar Stewart. And he has not been signed. And he's been at their mini camps, but he went home last week and decided to just leave the facility, and he has not practiced with them at all. He's been in meetings, he's been doing stuff like that, but he has not actually taken the field for the Bengals yet because of a contract dispute. And he had a little soundbite the other day where he said, y'all, the Bengals just want to win arguments more than they care about winning football games, which that's a pretty strong statement from a rookie that's done nothing for them yet. I mean, I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy. What do you have to say about this, Shamar?
Well, this catching off of the last sentence you just said, like, kind of been proven over the last couple of years. Like, you wait to sign Jamar Chase, you wait to sign T. Higgins.
Mm-hmm.
Like, even though he's a rookie, hasn't did a single snap in the NFL yet.
No,
it kind of still proves true, if I'm being honest.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. 2 things can be true. If you watch and follow the TTT, you know how bad of a pick I thought the Bengals taking Shamar Stewart in the first round was. 17th overall. Because in case y'all forgot, Shamar Stewart had 4.5 sacks in 3 years of college. But they compare him to Von Miller and Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett, by the way, had over 30 sacks at Texas A&M in 3 years of college. What?
But didn't Rudy from Notre Dame have 1 sack in his 1 start?
Yes, he did. That's a great point, Shamar.
Like 1 game, he had 1 sack. Like, come on, man. Come on.
I know. So I don't like the pick. But the Bengals are fucking Shamar Stewart over. Like, especially because, like I said, he's so raw. He's an athletic freak. He's just not a very good football player. So of all the guys that you need to have develop and get all the reps and practice they can, he's probably the biggest one. And he still has not practiced. You need to develop him because the Bengals, as we all know, are in a win now mode. They signed Joe Burrow. They did what a lot of people thought was impossible. They signed both Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. And they are very much in win now mode. They went 9-8 last year and missed the playoffs just barely. But this is a huge deal because of their other pass rusher. Now, keep in mind, Shamar Stewart was drafted to potentially replace Trey Hendrickson, which I thought that in itself was really stupid. But their other elite pass rusher, Trey Hendrickson, a guy who led the league in sacks last year, was 17.5. And he had 17.5 sacks the year before as well. In his 4 years with the Bengals, he's had 57 sacks. He is an absolute monster coming off the edge. He's one of the best pass rushers in the league, and he wants a new contract. And quite frankly, he's earned a new contract.
Yeah, like I say, he's proven it.
He has. So what's going on with Trey Hendrickson is he has 1 year left on his deal for $21 million, but only $8 million guaranteed. He wants a new deal, and the Bengals are not budging, and now they're taking personal shots at them. So let's see. It is on him to be happy at some point. This is what Katie Blackburn, one of the Bengals executives, said. I think some of it is on him to be happy. And if he's not, that's what holds it up sometimes. So, it takes him to say yes to something. He's not going to say yes to something that he knows he's not going to say yes to something that is beneath his play. He's not going to say yes to a contract that he knows he's worth way more than that. Does that make sense?
I mean, exactly. Like, I'm pretty sure that if the contract was anywhere reasonable, he will already be signed by now.
Yep.
Like, it's not rocket science. Like, if Von Miller can get a deal, Myles Garrett can get a deal, I'm pretty sure he has his number. It won't probably be anything more than what they are making. And he should get a deal done. So just to attack your own player that's been the only productive person on defense for you last year, is kind of insane, honestly.
It's ridiculous. And this ties back into Shamar Stewart because Shamar Stewart, the reason there's a holdup, it's not a money issue. It's a contract clause issue.
Oh, so I was going to ask, what is actually holding up his contract? What are the stipulations where he won't sign for it? So the Bengals are trying to put this has been done before in the NFL, but this is the first time the Bengals have ever done something like this to a first round pick. Okay. And they are trying to put in a stipulation that says if you get in trouble off the field, like if you do anything bad off the field, we can take away all your guaranteed money. That's all your guaranteed money is void, and we don't owe you anything, which is kind of insane. Like, here's my thing. Like I said, I didn't like the pick already. Like, I hated the Shamar Stewart pick. If you go back and watched our draft live stream, I was screaming in frustration when they drafted him because it's such a Bungles thing to do. If you have legitimate off-field concerns, and by the way, as far as I know, he doesn't have any off-field concerns. Yeah.
But if you had legitimate off-field concerns like that to go along with his insane lack of production in college, why the fuck did you draft him?
And then, it didn't not only draft him, but draft him number one, in your first round overall.
Yes.
Come on.
I don't get it. What are we doing?
It's the Bungles, man.
It's a clown organization. And we say it all the time on the TTT, #free Joe Shiesty.
Honestly, they got that man in purgatory. Honestly.
They do.
Well, I just find it kind of interesting how in the same division, you got the Browns who give everybody all of their money guaranteed. And then the Bengals are just giving their rookie or trying to take away their rookies, even guaranteed money for their rookie contract. It is hilarious. Wow,
it's hilarious. It's fucking dumb. By the way, while we're shitting on the Bengals, I saw this the other day. So this is a real picture of the Bengals locker room, or of the Bengals weight room. I'm sorry. A Bengal is fat, physical, hungry, accountable teammate. It's just, what do you think of that, Shamar?
It speaks for itself. Like honestly, it speaks for itself. There's no more I can add to it. It speaks for itself. Like, come on, guys. Come on.
A Bengal is fat. A Bengal is fat. Well, obviously they're not, because their offensive line is dog shit too. Like, you need big, beefy, fat guys up front to have a good offensive line. So obviously that's a lie as well. They're not physical, and obviously the team is not accountable to their players because they don't want to pay their fucking players. They've always had issues with paying contracts like this. I don't understand it. And now Joe Burrow, he's talking about how it's a distraction. Last year they had distractions. Now this offseason they have distractions. It's a shit show, man.
That is crazy. Like, you can't make it up. It's like every time you want to give them a little bit of credit, it's like, well, this how come you know before Joe Burrow got there. This how come the organization was just a dumpster fire before they got there, and Joe Burrow is barely swimming above water, like head barely above water while he's there. Like, how you gonna put up MVP numbers and still miss the playoffs? That tells you everything you need to know.
Everything. I mean, I know we talked about it, not on the TTT, but just talking amongst ourselves. If they had made the playoffs, Joe Burrow 100% deserved MVP.
Oh, 100%.
100%. Like, and it's so unfortunate because I still think he probably did deserve MVP because, I mean, dude, they were losing Bro, they lost a game to the Commanders where there were no punts and no turnovers, and they lost that game.
And some people still try to say that Joe Burrow didn't do enough. Like, what more you want
Shannon Sharp? Bro.
Like, what more you want the man to do?
What do you want him to do, bro? I mean, now, and Bengals fans, this is what gets me. Bengals fans are saying, oh, even without Trey Hendrickson, we're going to be fine. Like, I've seen Bengals fans say that on social media. It's like, bro, your defense was ass with Trey Hendrickson. What is it going to be without him?
Oh, it's going to be a Madden game. What are you talking about? On rookie difficulty.
It was a Madden game last year.
I don't even know what to tell you, honestly.
I don't know, man. It's crazy. But unfortunately, this is what we've come to expect from the Bengals. They are truly a poverty franchise. They are poverty in this sense because they're cheap and they don't want to pay people that have 100% earned it.
Honestly. But speaking about people who haven't earned their contract yet, because he's raw. He's gonna be like a very raw athlete, raw player coming in. Going back to the Smart Stewart, I did have a question that I wanted to ask. When it came to him, had there ever been any player, like I guess like around the NFL, that also had like weird stipulations like that, like off-field issues or anything like embedded in their contract?
A lot of times you'll see it, like if a player does have off-the-field issues, a lot of their contract is made up in incentives. You know, like you have to have like, this amount of catches, this amount of yards to get your guaranteed money. If you do anything off the field, like at all, this is for players that have a history of doing dumb shit off the field. But as far as I know, Shamar Stewart doesn't have this. And like I said, if the Bengals were really concerned about this, you don't have to draft him 17th overall. Like, you still had Jahad Campbell sitting on the board who would have instantly made your defense so much better. Like, and the Eagles got him at 31. Just led Alabama in tackles for losses, and sacks. But the Bengals don't want him. Fucking insane. But back to your point, a lot of times it'll be production and incentive based. And like, I know a lot of people like to meme the Kyler Murray because he had something like this where it was very unusual, where you have to study a certain number of hours a week
Yeah.
and you can't play Call of Duty during the season,
Yeah.
which is insane. Like the fact, I think a lot of people had a lot of red flags with that because you're the quarterback, you're the leader of the not only of the offense, but you're the face of the franchise. And to have a stipulation in your contract that says you must study at least X amount of hours a week, that's kind of insane to me.
Yeah, that's kind of wild, honestly.
Yeah. Oh shit. Let's go.
Hey, shout out to my big little sister. Appreciate you coming out. Appreciate you.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's awesome, man. I appreciate you getting people out here.
Hey, anytime.
Tigers. Let's go.
Yeah.
It's so yeah, so but as far as I'm aware, those are the contracts that I think would be most similar to this. And again, if you have issues about that, forget the complete lack of production in college as an edge rusher. 4.5 sacks in 3 years. And to your point, Rudy got 1 sack in 1 game. That's insane.
Yeah. And then he come in at the very end of the game, like at the last play almost.
Mm-hmm. He did,
He
yeah.
still got 1 sack.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
That is pretty fucking insane. But again, like I said, if you have issues about his character, no one forced you to draft him 17th. You didn't have to draft him. So again, it's just the Bengals just making poverty decision after poverty decision, and they're just digging themselves a hole. And we're in what? We're in June. Like this should not be. This should be a non-issue in June.
Honestly.
And you're already in the headlines for all the wrong reasons, and you're already pissing off your star quarterback. Like, I don't get it.
So if it's not for like, off the field issues, quote unquote, do you think like they're just the first team to try to put this stipulation into a contract and be like the first one to like now make this like a normalcy or normal place across the NFL?
I know that teams have tried to do some similar things, but like I said, this is the first time the Bengals have done this.
Okay.
And if you're Shamar Stewart, I mean, why would you sign that? If you met if I mess up one time, that means all my shit, like all my guarantees are gone, they're void. Yeah. I don't blame him for not signing it.
Oh, 100%. Like it's
just the Bengals being cheap. That's all insane. It is.
Yeah, that is absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm. But you got anything else to say, Shamar?
Well, when it comes to the Bengals, like I hope they do get it figured out. Like Joe Shiesty does not need any other distractions this year. I mean, I saw him running for his life since he got into the league. I think that's the main thing he needs to be worried about. Nonetheless, like contract negotiations between Shamar Stewart and Trey Hendrickson. I think my question would be if let's say they do happen to get both contracts signed off, do you still actually even have any sliver of hope for the team to even be decent this year? Playoff contender?
I think they can be decent, but it's all because of their offense. Their defense has to be improved. Like it's honestly crazy to say, but if they have to get this stuff done, because if you don't have Trey Hendrickson, how bad is your defense going to be next year?
Fair enough.
I mean, your defense was ass last year. Like you said, next year it'll be fucking Madden on rookie mode. And you're putting all the pressure on Joe Burrow and the offense and Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. I don't know, man. It's honestly really, it's just sad. And unfortunately, we've come to expect this from the Bengals.
Honestly. And then honestly, I can actually just see all teams going up against the Bengals. They just rush 3, then double chasing Higgins, and they say do something about it.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they're going to have a running game. Coming from your running back here, I don't think they're going to have a running game at all.
I mean, I like Chase Brown. He's very good out of the backfield. I really do like Chase Brown, but they don't have like a stud, and plus their offensive line isn't that great either. So that's another thing is Joe Burrow continues to get sacked, and they don't value Joe Burrow. It just seems like the Bengals go out of their way to piss off their star quarterback. That's what it seems like to me.
I don't think they're doing anything like to piss him off. I think they honestly think like, oh, since we got this one player, we're gonna be good. It's fine. We did it before. And it's like, no, guys, just because Ryan Tannehill threw the game for the Titans in that one playoff game for y'all to like make it to the Super Bowl. Like y'all are still a couple of pieces away from actually like being like more consistent and not always starting off with the 4-0, like 1-3 start, 2-2 start. Like y'all start so slow. Like it will really help out if you don't put the whole burden on Joe Burrow every week in and week out. Like let the man have a break.
I mean, like, so in I have a friend who he's a diehard Eagles fan, and I don't think he's watching tonight, unfortunately. He might be busy, but I have a friend who's a diehard Eagles fan, and he always gets into this argument with me. He's like, bro, Jalen Hurts is better than Joe Burrow. And I say no. There's no way. If you gave Joe Burrow that Eagles roster, they would be the ones looking to three-peat like the Chiefs were last year.
It's true. Don't get me wrong. As a pure quarterback, I get what you mean. But hey.
But Jalen Hurts is perfect for that team.
Exactly. So like I can't hate on Jalen Hurts because like, hey,
no,
the situation like kind of like with Tom Brady going to Bill Belichick and that being like one of the most perfect marriages or the perfect marriage in the NFL.
Yep.
Like, hey, it was just perfect timing. I mean, like what? What's his name? AJ Brown. He got there after Jalen Hurts through a trade. Who knows if that actually would have happened and Joe Burrow would have been there? Like, there's a lot of what ifs in the NFL and through life and sports in general. But yeah, but like as a pure quarterback, you just say, "Oh, who would you rather have?" I think 99% of people would say, "Give me Joe Burrow."
100%. Because like, here's my thing. I know it's hard to do like comparisons. Like, if you swap them, would this team be better or worse? I don't think it's a question. If you put Jalen Hurts on the Bengals, they would be a worse football team.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know the Eagles won the Super Bowl, but I still think Joe Burrow would make them a better football team.
Yeah, but I said, love Jalen Hurts. Love Jalen Hurts as a player, person, everything. But he won't be able to do what Joe did. I mean, he might be able to run out a couple more sacks. I would say that for sure.
Yeah. Joe's pretty elusive too, though. You have to give him that. But
I will. Yeah.
I mean, but no, I just think overall Joe Burrow is the better quarterback than Jalen Hurts. Yeah. All right, so Shamar, you're wearing a Seahawks jersey.
Yeah. I was going to ask because I have my own thoughts about the Seahawks this year, but I want to get a professional's opinion. What do you feel about the Seahawks this year? How you feel about them?
I'm more optimistic than I was going into the draft because the Seahawks were smart and they drafted an offensive lineman. So they got an offensive lineman in the first round, which is always a huge step because the Seahawks, as I'm sure you know, Shamar, they've had a bad offensive line the last couple of years. And going back to the Russell Wilson days, they had a bad offensive line.
I haven't trusted all lines since we traded for Jimmy Graham. I haven't trusted it since then.
That's true. Yeah, who trades a lineman for Jimmy Graham? That's just dumb.
A Pro Bowl lineman at that, but anyway.
A bungle is fat. Thank you. Shout out Mr. Lee, Jack Lee, for that comment. But the Bungles are fat. Yes, they absolutely are. And you can't say that we're hating because that's literally what they call themselves. The jokes write themselves, man. But
honestly,
back to the Seahawks. I think it'll be interesting to see what happens when you pair Sam Darnold with a defensive coach in Mike McDonald. Remember, Kevin O'Connell is the quarterback whisperer in Minnesota. And that's why they got rid of Sam Darnold, because they're like, oh, we have J.J. McCarthy waiting in the wings. We think we can be better without Sam Darnold. And Kevin O'Connell made Sam Darnold's life so easy because remember, you have JJ, Justin Jefferson, you have Jordan Addison on the outside. You have really good skill guys, plus a good offensive line that the Vikings have upgraded.
Yep.
And now you go to a Seahawks team that is defensive-minded with a defensive-minded head coach. He was a defensive coordinator. And, who do you – I mean, I love Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yep.
But you have to replace both DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. And
I've been telling people for years, like, I always like Tyler Lockett more than Metcalf because Lockett has always been a lot more consistent all the time. Always liked him a lot more. But now – both of them are gone, but Tyler Lockett decided to go to, the place where wide receivers go to die. So,
I think the problem is that division, because I think the Seahawks will be improved, but that division is tough, man. Like, I think they could be a better football team, this year than they were last year, and they might still finish fourth in the division.
I think that's fair. Me personally, I don't think we're gonna be better than we were last year. I think last year like kind of like a fluke. I thought that coming in with a new head coach, we're gonna be like a complete change, but we still we missed the playoffs by like a game or like half a game behind the Rams.
Yep.
I mean we still won what 10 games last year.
Yeah.
So like this year, we're gonna have a new quarterback coming in. And then we're gonna have less weapons on the offense, quote unquote. Even though we do have the line, it's do we really trust Sam Darnold? It really boils down to the question of is Sam Darnold from the Browns, the Panthers, or the Vikings, or the Niners? Which one are we actually going to get? Did Kyle Shanahan and Mike McDonald did they cover up a lot, or was that actually him, and then those other property franchises ruined them? Who knows?
I think right now you have to look at, he was bad with the Jets. That's the Jets, so you kind of have to throw that one out because, Geno Smith got punched in the jaw and looked terrible with the Jets. And look what he's done now. He looked bad with the Panthers. But right now it's looking like more and more the Kevin O'Connell Vikings tenure. When he had that quarterback whisperer, it looks like that's the anomaly. It looks like that's the outlier.
Yeah.
So now you pair him, like I said, with the defensive coach and Mike McDonald, who values his defense more than probably upgrading the offense. I don't know, man. I don't think Sam Darnold is an upgrade from Geno Smith.
I think it'll be the same at best. Same at best, honestly.
Yep.
And then also I don't know. I feel like, in my all honesty, I think the Rams are probably going to win the division. If I actually had to be honest, I think it'll be the Rams, and then we might be fighting for second with the Niners. Yeah. I still don't trust the Cardinals that much. I think they might be sneaky, but I think they're going to be this a tad bit better than they were last year. But I think they're still going to be fourth. And yes, I do know, chat, that y'all probably think we've replaced Tyler Lockett and Metcalf with Cooper Kupp. Still don't like it that much. I don't like it that much. But yeah.
What? I don't even know what that comment is, but I appreciate it. Anyway, I think there's a reason that when Pete Carroll got the job with the Raiders, he took Geno with him because he thinks Geno's a really good quarterback. Pete Carroll loves Geno and he believes in Geno. And I mean, Sam Darnold, I don't think he's an upgrade over Geno. I don't. Especially when you lose Justin Jefferson, Kevin O'Connell, and Jordan Addison and that offensive line. I like what the Seahawks have done to rebuild their offensive line, but it's still not the Vikings. It's not the Vikings O-line. So I just, like I said, I think the Seahawks might be improved, and I know you think they might not improve, but I still think they finished 4th in the division because I really like what the Cardinals have done. And I love what the Niners have done, rebuilding and trying to replace all that talent that they lost. I thought they had a great draft.
Yeah. I think we both agree. We think the Rams still come out on top of that division. Almost I think it's gonna be like theirs to lose. I do like what the Cardinals and the Niners have done, but I'm ready to see what actually happens. I just think for me, I think the Seahawks are also main thing when it comes to like the quarterback position.
Yeah.
Like y'all look like, I think my idea is like with the new head coach, if you didn't want Geno, get rid of him last year.
Yes.
Like, why keep him for a year? Then he already used to the system now with you. He did well. And then now y'all just saying, oh, we're going to cut and just go. Because to me, like, you want to, like, bomb this year or, like, say, hey, we're going to try to, like, actually build up a new quarterback, draft him underneath Geno, let Geno go and you'll draft somebody actually new instead of, like, they're going with Sam Darnold. Yes, they did get Jalen Milroe, which I do understand. But at that point,
but he's
Geno.
A project.
Yeah, but at the same time, like, just keep Geno. He knows the system. It's not going to be anything new. You know what you're going to get. You know, at the very worst, you're not going to get worse.
Yeah.
But that's how come they just need to hire the TTT to go over there.
Who do we think is going to go to the Super Bowl next year? That's a very tough, loaded question.
Ooh.
It's June. It's so hard to predict these things. I know everyone's going to say the Eagles, but it's so hard to get back.
It's hard to get back.
It is hard to get back. I mean, I still like what the Lions have done, although I know a lot of people are kind of down on the Lions based on how they lost both their coordinators. I don't know if Ben Johnson is that much of a loss based on what he's done in Chicago as the head coach. How he has – that's a whole nother topic. But I still really like the Lions. I think they're right there with the Eagles in terms of overall roster. They just got decimated by injuries at the absolute worst time last year. Like, their entire defense was just dead.
Yeah.
And, I mean, obviously, I know everyone's going to say the Eagles. I think a sleeper is probably the Chargers. I really like what the Chargers have done. I like what the Chargers have done, man. I think they draft really, really good. Oh, shit, it's Daniel. Baltimore Ravens versus Philadelphia Eagles. I don't hate that.
I mean, that's a safe pick. Don't get me wrong. It's a safe pick.
No,
I do think this year for the Ravens, if they don't win it this year, it's going to be complete rebuild mode, in my personal opinion, for the Ravens. Like, there's no – I don't see – if it doesn't work this year for the Ravens, I don't see how they can, like, keep on going with this mold without any type of, like, hard resets.
Yep. All right. So with that, I think our little Super Bowl predictions in June is a great way to end that. But now it's time for a little all right. And joining us now is our producer, Jasper Green. What's up, Jasper?
Hello. What's up, everybody? So our illustrious and amazing team of writers has created more conundrums for the experts of the Trash Talk Tailgate to ponder. So,
yeah, dude, I'm excited. What have the writers got for us today?
Some bangers, dude. All right, some bangers. So do y'all want to start with like more front office, like owners and general managers stuff? Or do you want to – I guess we could keep it thematic, and you want to do a Super Bowl one?
Yeah, let's do a Super Bowl
hit me
one.
that. Hit me with
All
that.
right. So which NFL defense would you rather not play in the Super Bowl? Rank them. The Seattle Seahawks Legion of Doom, Super Bowl XLV III, the Chicago Bears, the Monsters of the Midway, Super Bowl XX, and the Baltimore Ravens Purple Pain, Super Bowl XXXV.
That's a really good question.
Our writers
Well,
are amazing. Our
they
writing
are.
team is,
Shout out the writers.
absolutely shout out the writers.
Fuck,
Can I
that's
just throw
tough.
the game? Can I just throw the game? Oh man,
That's tough.
Right, so this gonna be my one question, my one caveat. Are we gonna be
Yeah.
like playing in the Super Bowl this year?
These are like the per year ones, like which year Super Bowl?
No, but he's saying like that defense that year against like back in like that era of football or like in today's era. That's what he's asking.
Yeah.
Right, Shamar?
Yeah.
Yeah, like the rules. I'm gonna say let's do it today. Because if it was back in that era, I would say the Bears.
Yeah, exactly. It would be the Bears 100%.
Mhm.
100%.
But I think
right now I'm
really
tied. I'm tied between the Ravens and the Seahawks.
yeah, I am
Today's
too.
errors. Like if it was me, and I say that they're slouch at all, I think I would rather face the Legion of Boom than the Ravens. And the reason why I would rather face the Seahawks more is because at least I can at least somewhat have a running game a little bit more and not have to worry about it with Ray Lewis being right there. And then if I try to throw it, I also got Ed Reed that's picking off everything.
Well, no, Ed Reed wasn't on that team.
Oh, he was? Oh, wait.
No.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah, he wasn't on that team.
Damn.
So
Then-
that changes things.
Oh, then 100%. I would not like to face the Seattle Seahawks.
I agree with you because in
100%.
today's, I think I'm going to go the Seahawks too. If the Ravens had Ed Reed on that team, I think it would be obvious it's the Ravens.
Yeah.
But if we're doing it in today's game, I think we're going to have a pass-happy offense.
Exactly.
And that defense shut down the best offenses in the game. Because you had Richard Sherman, you had Earl Thomas, you had Bam Bam Cam Chancellor.
You took out Megatron in the game. They stood up, knocked the lights out.
I mean, I remember, I think it was one of the first plays in that Super Bowl where they absolutely crushed Peyton Manning and the Broncos.
Oh,
Cam Chancellor ran over, I think it was Demaryius Thomas, and he was out. It's just like, okay, that's it. They're done. Because he set the tone for that entire team. Plus, you have Bobby Wagner being, a low hole player just in the middle of that defense. So, and, I mean, you had Cliff Averill coming off the edge. I think I'm going to have to go with the Seahawks on this one.
Yeah, they'll be the worst. Yeah, I would not want to face them at all.
Mm-hmm.
At all, for sure. But not saying the other teams weren't a slouch either. I'm just saying, in today's game, you're talking about people getting, solid hits, hit. Everybody's running for their life. Yeah. Oh, but going back to our Super Bowl predictions, wild prediction.
Yeah.
Wild prediction. I'm calling it because I have faith. I don't care what y'all say about analytics or nothing.
Okay.
Seahawks Bengals in the Super Bowl this year. Calling it.
Seahawks Bengals. He's calling it.
Calling it in June. Seahawks Bengals.
You just said you didn't. You just said you didn't think they were going to be any good.
No, because they're going to be great.
Okay,
they're going to be amazing.
Right.
That's why.
All right. Jasper, you're back. We lost you for a second.
Yeah, brief technical difficulties.
Yeah.
That should be good now.
All right, cool. So we answered the first one. We both said the Seahawks because of the modern offenses. All right, give me another one.
Which NFL overall offense was better? Rank them. 2001 Los Angeles Rams, the greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
2007 New England Patriots. 2013 Denver Broncos, or the 1990 Buffalo Bills?
The greatest NFL offenses.
The greatest NFL offenses. So that Bills team had Jim Kelly, Hall of Famer quarterback, Thurman Thomas, Hall of Fame running back, Andre Reed, Hall of Fame wide receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah, like that Patriots offense, they had Tom and Randy, but that was it. They just blew out everyone. Like they set the league record for most points scored in a season until it was broken by the 2013 Denver Broncos that your Seahawks destroyed in the Super Bowl.
Exactly.
I think I'm going to go greatest show on turf. Because you had Kurt.
Yeah.
Because you had Kurt Warner, Hall of Famer, quarterback. Marshall Faulk, who I know we've talked about this, one of the greatest underrated running backs, I think, in NFL history.
100%.
Just his ability to catch the ball at the backfield and run the rock. Unreal. And you had Torrey Holt and Isaac Bruce out wide. So, and they both are either in the Hall of Fame or should be in the Hall of Fame. So I think I'm going to go greatest show on turf.
Yeah, not to copy, like that's the first one that really popped into my head, honestly. 'Cause, like the Patriots team, like when you have a human cheat code and Randy Moss, it makes it great. But like when they think about like a total offense.
Yeah.
To me, like, and I think like the Patriots and the Broncos are kind of like in the same boat. Where like, yeah, you have a solid passing offense, but like there's that other dimension of having a running game as well.
Yeah.
To me, it was a no-brainer. It's either going to be the Rams or the Bills.
Mm-hmm.
The thing that keeps the Bills away from me, even though they did go to 3 straight Super Bowls, don't get me wrong.
4 straight Super Bowls.
Or my correction, 4 straight.
Yeah.
They lost. So,
yeah,
it's hard.
And
so
the Rams won that Super Bowl.
The Rams won, so I have to get.
And they got to another. They got and they lost to the Patriots. So
I think
I'm going to go with the greatest show on turf on that one.
Yeah, but
that's a great question though.
But he did say to rank them. So in my personal rank, it would be number 1, the greatest show on turf. 2 would be the Bills. 3,
the Patriots.
4, Broncos. Now, you would ask me which team would I love to play on? Any of them, honestly.
I don't know, man. Like as much as I love Thurman Thomas, Marshall Faulk is criminally underrated. Like
honestly,
because what he did out of the backfield, he was. I've seen interviews with Rams on that team. Marshall Faulk was the engine that made that entire offense go.
Honestly,
like what he could do catching the ball at the backfield. He was a great pass blocker as well at the running back position. He was a great pass protector. And then obviously his ability to run the ball between the tackles and break shit outside. He was the engine of that entire offense. So, yeah.
Yeah.
I
don't think they should, like, when you think about offense, like, yeah, people love passing the ball, but, like, as you know, every great team is going to have at least a good to great running game, and you have to have it. Even in today's modern day, you have to have some type of running game. So, yeah.
Chat, do y'all have any questions or do y'all have any thoughts for us? Let's go to the chat.
Yeah, give us some rankings. Give us some questions. I'm always here for it.
Oh, yeah, man, because I think Jasper's still having some technical issues. Hopefully we'll get him back. But, yeah, it was to rank them. I think I agree with you. I would go Rams, Bills, and Patriots because, like you said, the Patriots didn't have a great run game. They were dominant throwing the ball. Like they would kick your ass throwing the ball, but they didn't have a dominant run game that year. So if you're just looking at overall total offense, I think you have to go Rams and then Bills, then Patriots.
Yeah, I just think like you still have to respect the running game.
100%.
A little biased, but you know.
Yeah. He's a running back. No, I agree. Oh, Shamar, did you see this by the way? If they make it, I will buy you dinner.
Hey, I'm gonna hold you to it.
You
Hey,
should,
Seahawks,
bro.
do not let me down. I believe in you. I believe in you all the way.
What kind of dinner? Is it gonna be like an expensive ass dinner?
I don't care.
Like a
Go
Ruth's
to
Chris or like what are we talking?
shoot. Take me to Taco Bell. I don't care. I'd be happy either way. I'd be happy either way.
Let's go. The TTT is growing. We're getting bot comments now. Let's go. That's
Not
really
the
cool.
Even
Oh
the
shit,
bot.
he can pick. You can pick, Shamar.
Woo!
Where are you going?
You know what? I want a homemade meal. Let's
A
go.
homemade meal. Okay.
Your choice. Homemade. Your choice.
All right.
There you
Let's
go.
go. Hell yeah. Homemade meal.
But since we have a you know what? Actually, I got a question for you.
Yeah,
Speaking
what's up?
of- So a shout out for the meal deliverer, my sister Drew. So my sister is a huge Virginia Tech fan, huge Atlanta Falcons fan. So you already know
Okay.
where I'm going. She's a huge Michael Vick fan.
Okay.
So, in your opinion, Michael Vick, is he the greatest dual threat quarterback that has played the game? I'll ask for your top three.
Top three. Michael Vick is definitely up there. I think it's just so sad because he had to go to prison during the prime of his career. You know, when he was in Atlanta, and he missed 2 prime years, but then he gets out of prison and he wins comeback player of the year with the Eagles and Andy Reid in 2010. And he was a much better passer. All right. But if I would say he's definitely up there. I think you have to go Lamar. And
Number
then
one?
Lamar's won MVP, so yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I think so. Michael Vick, I think, would be 2. And then number 3, I know a lot of people are probably going to forget about this. I'm going to say 3A and 3B because I think they were kind of the godfathers of this. Roger Staubach and Fran Tarkenton. Because they were scrambling way before it was cool. Like they were scrambling back in the 70s. You know?
Yeah.
Michael Vick and now even Lamar, they just turned it up to another level. So I think you also have to respect the old heads as well.
That's fair. I'm actually kind of surprised you didn't put Cam in there, but fair enough.
I
fair
don't
enough.
think I mean Cam was just a big body, but I never really saw Cam as like an electric scrambler. He was, to me, Cam was more of like a more athletic Big Ben. Does that kind of make sense?
It does. It does. Yeah, trying to get Ben down with something crazy.
But when you think of scrambler, like a dude that can just take the snap, everything breaks down, and he's going to take off and gain 40 yards. I don't think of Cam that way. I think Cam can get you a first down, but I don't think he's going to get all the extra yards. Does that make sense?
That's fair enough.
Yeah. All right. And we are back.
I'm back.
Dazzy.
All right. Hopefully the internet, it's thunderstorming out. I'm going to blame that on my internet issues. But I think it's good to go now. I fucked with some shit. All right. So let's talk about some people that are overvalued.
Okay.
We got 3 questions pertaining to overvalued people.
Okay.
So we're going to start with quarterback. So who would you consider the most overvalued quarterback at this point in their NFL careers?
Okay.
The question wants you to rank them 1 through 5. We got Aaron Rodgers of the Pittsburgh Steelers. I think my opinion, he's the most overvalued.
I agree.
I hate what he's going to do to my Steelers. But hey, I'll eat crow if he wins a Super Bowl. Fuck
yeah.
Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
Kirk Cousins of the Atlanta Falcons. Dak Prescott of the Dallas Cowboys. And Tua Tagovailoa of the Miami Dolphins.
Who's
I don't think
most overvalued?
So I have to rank them 1 through 5.
Yeah. What's your list? So 1 being the most overvalued, 5 being the least overvalued.
I think number 1 for me has to be Aaron, just because I think he's washed.
Absolutely.
Number 2. He's overvalued for the Falcons because he's a backup. Kirk Cousins is being paid generational wealth to be a backup quarterback with the Falcons right now. So I think you have to put him number 2. Number 3, for me, it's a tie between Kyler and Dak. I think Dak has been more successful, so I'll probably put Kyler number 3 as the most overvalued. Because like we talked about earlier, you literally had to put a clause in his contract saying you have to study X number of hours a week to be our franchise quarterback, and you can't fucking play Call of Duty anymore. So that means number 2, I'm going to go Dak, and then number 1, this might be controversial. I think Tua fits that offense perfectly. He just can't stay healthy.
So you don't think he's that overvalued?
I don't think he's that overvalued. The system that he's in is perfect for him. His problem is he just can't stay healthy.
Yeah. See, my list is slightly different. I have the same reasonings, but I put him in a different spot. So number 1 for me is Kirk Cousins, overvalued.
That's
He's
fair.
overvalued. Yeah, because like he should never got paid last year. I mean, hey, I happy he got his money. Don't get me wrong, but like you're gonna pay him all that money and then go out and go draft the quarterback. That doesn't make any sense. And then to be like now that he's a backup, I'm like, bro, you're so overvalued. You're a backup. The only other person that could beat him to me is Deshaun Watson. So
that's fair.
So to me, Kirk Cousins is number 1. Number 2, I had to go with Aaron. Cause like Steelers, what are y'all doing?
Thank you. What are they doing? I'm gonna be more of a Bucs fan after this season.
Yep.
3, just because I do have to agree. I think it is Kyler because like, yeah, I think it's gonna be Kyler. Like he's good, but I don't think he'll be able to get you over the hump.
Yeah.
Now his contract isn't as bad as other people's contracts now that the years have gone by, but still,
Dak's the highest paid quarterback in the league.
Yeah, but to me, yeah, I agree with that. So that should come. Dak is number 4.
Okay.
Because actually no, take that back. It's a flip because for me number 4 would be Tua because I do think Tua does fit the system perfectly. He can't stay healthy.
No.
You paid him all the money. Don't get me wrong, he deserved all the money. But like if we want to talk about overvalued, we also got to talk about salaries as Chat mentioned. So I had to put Tua at number 4 and Dak at number 5 because even though the Cowboys haven't been to the NFC Championship since before I've been alive, and all that
crazy.
Before this year, he did have them like in double-digit wins every single year for like 4 years plus almost. So like he still does bring a lot of value to the Cowboys. So even though they may not have a lot of playoff success, I mean, let's be honest, everybody else on this list doesn't have playoff success either. So
no,
I had to give it to Dak being like number 5.
At least recent playoffs.
At least recent.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So like it would have to be Dak at number 5. That would be my list.
That's a great question. Let's go back to Jasper.
All right.
What else do the writers have?
So, which current NFL general manager is the most overvalued? We have Chris Ballard of the Indianapolis Colts. We have Terry Fontenot of the Atlanta Falcons. Ryan Poles of the Chicago Bears. And Mickey Loomis of the New Orleans Saints.
All right.
Rank them again.
So
1 being the worst, 4 being the least.
This is tough because they're all overvalued in their own way, but for very different reasons.
Yeah.
This is tough.
Shout out writers.
Honestly.
Dude, the TTC writers got us fucking right.
They did.
Honestly.
This is a really tough question.
Like, I got to think about drafts. I got to think about trading for players, and then also like contracts.
Yeah, do you want to go first, Shamar? Or do you want me to go?
I mean, off the bat, number 1, Bears.
Yeah,
because you know what they have done. Like you haven't been able to draft, trade, pick up, sign, go on the street, talk to anybody to go get you a quarterback to throw over 4,000 yards or get them a competent coach either to help them go over 4,000 yards.
That's one of the craziest stats in history. Like
so just because of that, I have to put you up there. Like you putting all these like broken pieces together and hoping it works. So Bears GM had to be number one. Number two, the Colts, because ever since Andrew Luck pretty much retired, their quarterback thoughts processes have been crazy. No matter what, trying to draft Anthony Richardson, and then also like not also putting any other pieces together. Like I saw the coach always trying to like get the right quarterback. Can you even name another piece that actually tried to have outside of Jonathan Taylor over like the
Michael
past 5
Pittman,
years?
Michael Pittman, but yeah, that's it.
Two in the past like 4 to 5 years. Like guys, what are you doing? So that's come out the
remember Shamar? Do you remember the great career of Phillip Rivers as a Colt or Matt Ryan as a Colt?
Honestly,
like they've been in quarterback hell just like the Bears have been.
Yeah,
I think so. All right, hang on.
But
Jasper, what? So we had the Colts, we have the Bears, the Saints, and who else? I forget who else.
Yeah, give me 1 sec. Yes,
the Falcons. That's what it. Yeah, okay.
So
appreciate that, Jasper.
Thanks, Jasper. 3 for me would have to be the Saints, just because of Daniel right there. 3 because like they pay everybody exorbitant amount of money, horrible contracts. Don't really and then 4 would be the Falcons. Even though I don't like what the Falcons do necessarily, at least it's still a better game plan overall than all these other teams. So it had to be Bears, Colts, Saints, Falcons.
For me, I agree with you on the Bears. Although drafting Anthony Richardson is almost like a tiebreaker. Like they're right there neck and neck. Ryan Poles is an idiot, and I've been on record as saying that. How are you a former offensive lineman and you just completely neglect your offensive line? How? And you do what all NFL teams do, where, okay, we have Justin Fields, let's draft him really high, but let's not put anything around him and then get really upset when Justin Fields doesn't play well. And then it was Justin Fields' fault. It was the quarterback's fault. And then let's go in, let's draft Caleb, not put anything around him. I mean, I get it. You draft Rome Odunze and you get DJ Moore, but you're not investing up front. Caleb Williams was sacked over 70 times last year. Like, what are we doing? Like, no quarterback can overcome that. Unless maybe your name is Joe Burrow.
Yeah, he's the only one.
He's the only one. I mean, shit, we saw what happened to the Chiefs last year when they didn't have an offensive line in the Super Bowl. Not even Patrick Mahomes can overcome that. Quarterbacks can't overcome having no protection. So how are you a former offensive lineman that's just like, yeah, we don't need offensive linemen? That's insane.
Even Brady got rattled when he got hit too much.
Exactly. Like that was the key to beating Brady. Get pressure up the middle so he can't step up in the pocket. That was the key. That's what the Giants did. That's how the Giants beat them in 2 Super Bowls. And then the other thing is, okay, now you have Ben Johnson, who's quote unquote a quarterback guru. We don't know that. We've never seen Ben Johnson as a head coach. But instead of drafting really good offensive linemen, you just got a bunch of free agents. Like, Shamar, think about this. I've said this on the show before. We saw how bad the Chiefs' offensive line was, right, in the Super Bowl. The Chiefs let Joe Thuney go. They said, no, we're good. Like, we're going to rebuild our offensive line without you. And he's supposed to be the Bears' savior. Think about that. That's not going to end well.
But if anybody who should know offensive lineman and how your offense should be run, I think Andy Reid would know.
Exactly. And, so I would put Ryan Poles up there. I would put Chris Ballard right below him, though, because they haven't made the playoffs since 2020. Like you said, they've been in quarterback purgatory ever since Andrew Luck. They can't figure it out. They had a really good offensive line at one point, but now they don't have that anymore because all of them have gotten old. And, once an offensive lineman gets older, it's really hard for him to be the same productive player that he used to be. Just because injuries, they really take a toll on you up front. And then you draft Anthony Richardson, who I said, the TTT said when it first happened, he's not going to be a quarterback. Like, he's not a quarterback. He couldn't complete 50% of his passes in college. What makes you think he's going to be good in the NFL? So I'd put him number 2.
All right.
The Saints is weird. I don't like the Falcons front office at all. Like, I really don't understand what they're doing. I saw a Reddit comment a while ago that I think really just kind of summed it up. From the team that brought you a tight end at 4, we give you a running back at 8 in terms of where they draft skill players. They drafted Kyle Pitts 4th overall, and then they drafted Bijan Robinson 8th overall. And Drake London, I think, 10th overall. And, they have a decent offensive line, not a great one. They drafted 2 edge rushers in the first round because they haven't been able to get that right ever. Not since Grady Jarrett. But the Saints is weird because you can understand they went all in on Drew Brees.
Yep.
Like Drew Brees' last few years, they went all in on him. But the problem is Drew Brees has been retired for years now, and they still are in cap hell. So I think I'm going to put the Saints up there at 3 and then the Falcons at 4. I think that would be my list. I don't think any of them are competent, though.
No, I think the only slightly competent one to me would be the Falcons. Because, you may not like where they draft people, but at least the pieces somewhat make sense.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. All right, Jasper, you got any more questions?
I got plenty more, but we're going to do one about overvalued people, and we're going to do the most overvalued part of any single NFL franchise, the owner.
Okay.
So, if you could force one of the following current NFL team owners to sell his franchise, who would you choose? Jimmy Haslam of the Cleveland Browns.
Jimmy Haslam, yeah.
Haslam, got you.
Yeah, Haslam.
Shad Khan of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Or David Tepper of the Carolina Panthers. Who's got to sell their team, gentlemen?
I think it's Jimmy Haslam. I don't think it's particularly close.
Damn.
They're all really bad. But
I think it had to be
it's the Browns. They gave a serial sexual offender $230 million fully guaranteed. And he's not even playing for them right now.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
I've
been following that shit, and it's like, they're gonna choose one of their younger guys. They're gonna let one of the younger guys start.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's crazy.
I don't know if y'all remember this, but obviously it was a very controversial move because NFL contracts are not fully guaranteed. They've never been fully guaranteed.
Never.
But to give the first ever fully guaranteed contract to a serial sexual offender in Deshaun Watson, and maybe rapist, if you want to go there, for $230 million fully guaranteed, that's just insane. And obviously they got a lot of pushback for that. And if y'all remember, their justification was, we talked to our daughters and they were okay with it.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah, I don't think it's close. I mean, at least with the Jazz are still somewhat competent.
Mm-hmm.
They're making some solid moves. They're they're not horrible, not great. They're in the middle. So I'm you give them a year or two, they could get good or bad depending. The Panthers, you did put somebody, either head coach and or GM, in place to make solid decisions, you can get them going in the right direction over the next couple of years. but the Browns have to completely just rehaul everything. So I think it's not even close. It had to be the Browns.
It's sad, man, because going back to I know he's one of your favorite quarterbacks. He's one of my favorite quarterbacks too. They had a really good squad when they had Baker, and they won a playoff game for the first time in I think 20 years, something like that. And then they just go out and they completely throw Baker under the bus, and they blame everything on him. When he was hurt that whole year, he had a busted throwing shoulder that whole next year. And they went out, and in their statement when they released him, they said, we need, quote, an adult at quarterback. And then they go out and get Deshaun Watson. So, yeah, I get it, Daniel. He's definitely bad, but I think we're just talking strictly football right now. If you want to talk off the field stuff, that's a whole other discussion. But I think right now we're just talking about being very meddling in football decisions. Because that was a Jimmy Haslam decision, went to sign Deshaun Watson to that contract. So I think I get it. David Tepper's not a great owner by any means, but I still think Jimmy Haslam's worse.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back to Jasper.
All right.
Got any more questions?
Oh yeah, and I got a few more.
All right.
Our writers got a sec. This was all from last week. Y'all don't even know what we got cooking for next week. The writers have been busy. I've got so much. So here's a hypothetical. We're gonna get off the overvalued people. We're gonna hit up with y'all the hypothetical. If you guys could bring back the Houston Oilers to replace one immensely dysfunctional NFL franchise, who are you going to fucking evaporate and then drop the Houston Oilers in their place? Mr. Lee said the Texans.
That's hilarious.
I mean, yeah, that would be hilarious to do. Easy one would be to say the Titans. That would be the easiest to say. But I'm gonna go on the whim. I'm gonna say the Colts.
Ooh.
Why the Colts?
I mean, they originally used to be like the Baltimore Colts anyway, so they moved over to the Indianapolis.
Yep.
Plus, let's be honest, outside of Peyton Manning, is there anything other like historical value in the Colts organization?
No, I mean.
So bring them back. Bring them back to the Indianapolis.
Bring them back to okay, I got you.
I mean, also like the Oilers, Lucas Oil Field.
I got you.
Yeah.
All right. For me, this is a tough one. Like you said, it would be easy just to say the Titans, just because that's who replaced the Oilers in the first place.
Part of me wants to say the fucking Panthers, but I'm from there.
I'm tempted.
And I like their mascot. I like the whole IP of the Panthers. It's sick. They need to be a better fucking football team.
I'm gonna say the Jaguars, and this is why.
Oh no, not the Jacksonville native saying
dude.
to fucking nuke the Jaguars.
I'm gonna say the Jaguars because they are. It seems like they're trying to leave anyway. It seems like a lot of their games are in England. A lot of their home games are in England. The Jaguars, they play in England every single year at Wembley Field. So every team, Daniel, every single team is an option. All of them.
No quarter given. The writers did give me options, but I said I'm going to let them. I'm going to let them choose. Because anyone, we could say the fucking San Francisco 49ers or the Kansas City Chiefs if we wanted to. I mean, they're not dysfunctional.
We're not going to. But I think it's the Jaguars because it seems like they're already trying to leave. And as someone who's, been in Jacksonville, there's not, there are good fans here, but it's not crazy fans here. I think
but the stadium has a pool in it though.
That's true. It does have a pool.
I didn't know that. That's sick.
Yeah, their stadium
I bet
does
it.
have a
I
pool
bet
in
it. I bet. Is it smelly? I bet it's smelly. I bet it's not well maintained.
That's funny. Yeah, I think that's a great question. You got any more?
Yes, I do. So, which player was the worst bust in the NFL after he was selected in the draft?
I'm ready.
Go from best to worst, like worst bust to least busty. So we have, of course, Johnny Manziel of the Cleveland Browns, Jake Locker of the Tennessee Titans, Josh Rosen of the Cardinals.
Josh Rosen, yeah, the Cardinals.
Zach Wilson's of the New York Football Jets, or Trey Lance of the San Francisco 49ers.
Well, this is going to be – I think people are going to disagree with me, but I don't think a lot of them are really bad busts, because if you listen to me and watch the TTT, you would have known that all of those players were going to be really bad busts. So none of them really surprised me. I'm going to go Trey Lance, number 1, because he only played a year in college.
That's crazy.
Like, he only played 1 year at North Dakota State, which is a really good, but an FCS school. And he was expected to make the jump immediately to the NFL. So I'm going to go number 1. What were the other options? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you're good, man. The other options were Johnny Manziel, Jake Locker, Josh Rosen, Zach Wilson, and Trey Lance.
I mean, I'm going to go Josh Rosen, number 2, because I wasn't a huge fan of him, but, I think it really says a lot when you draft a quarterback in the top 10 and then not even like a year later, you draft his replacement number 1 overall in Kyler Murray. I think that says a lot about you as a player.
I disagree, but I'll tell you why when I do my list.
Okay. Why?
Because what was the coach? Cliff.
Good comment.
Cliff Kingsbury, yeah.
Like Cliff Kingsbury, right? Like he always wanted Kyler ever since college, and then he got the job. So to me, Josh Rosen wasn't even given a fair chance. They just kicked his ass out the door.
But what has he done since then?
I mean, he went to Miami to be a backup. Like, he didn't even have a choice about where he went to.
Yeah.
To me, he never even had a chance. To me,
I'm gonna put. So it was Josh Rosen. I'm gonna put Zach Wilson probably number 3, just because he played 1 year at BYU during a COVID season, and he put up great numbers for 1 year at BYU. It's very similar to Trey Lance. It's like, but if you watched him, his game did not translate to the NFL. Zach Wilson went number 2 overall because of 1 throw at a pro day. That's it. And then, so it was Rosen, Lance, Manziel, Wilson. Who else?
Let's see here. Manziel, Locker, Rosen.
Locker, that's who it was.
Yes.
I'll put Jake Locker number 4. I didn't like him at Washington. He should have came out the year before. But Washington, I think they had a really bad year his last year in college. I want to say they might have went 0-12. And it just completely tanked him. And then number 5, the least surprising, was Johnny Manziel, because like I said with Wilson, his game was never going to translate to the NFL. It's what I said about Caleb. He reminded me a lot more of Johnny Manziel than Patrick Mahomes. That's why I'm not a huge fan of Caleb Williams. I don't think his game consistently translates to the NFL. So that would be my list, yeah. But none of them really surprised me.
Yeah, what if you're an average fan? If you have my football intellect and you have no clue,
Yeah.
But I'm interested to hear Shamar's list.
Yes.
I think number 1, the biggest bust, I hate to say it, but it had to be Trey Lance. Because, everything they did to get him.
Yes.
They
gave up 3 first-round picks to trade up to get him.
You gave him 3 first-round picks. He played, 3 games, 4 games, or 2
Yeah, I
games.
think it was a total of 4 games.
4 games. Like played 4 games. He got injured. Which like, of course, that's not his fault. But even in the 4 games, he didn't look that good. But like, I just at first I gave it to like pregame jitters or like rookie. But then you have Mr. Irrelevant come in, ball out. You get traded to the Cowboys, and then you still look kind of like bad. Because of all that, you have to be number 1, the biggest bust out of this list. Number 2, I would have to say Zach Wilson, and it's not his fault. We already know about the Jets organization.
He never should have been drafted that high.
He never should have been drafted that high, but because of where you got drafted, I'm sorry, it plays a factor. So because of that, and then everything else like moms and all this other stuff. Number
He's
2.
the Mormon milf hunter. Did you know that, Shamar?
Hey, let him be great. I think he has to be number 2. Number 3, I'll probably say Locker. Yeah, I'll probably say number 3. Like Miller Pat, not good, not great.
Yep.
4, Josh Rosen. As I said before, he got put in a really messed up situation. Like, like you could have proven yourself, but to me, it's like if a new coach comes in and they already know who their guy is going to be, kind of like as you even said multiple times on TTT before, quarterbacks and head coaches are joined at the hip.
Yes.
You can't really blame Josh Rosen for getting traded that next year to the Dolphins. And then
that's a good point.
And then with Tua also being there with Mike McDaniel, and that's the same exact thing. He never had a fair shot. He never really had a fair shot. And I think he looked good, but like he never had a shot. And then lastly would be Manziel because the Browns. I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, the Browns.
So like he never had a shot.
It's rumored that a homeless person texted Jimmy Haslam and said, "Come, like, go draft Johnny," and he listened to him.
Yeah, I mean
that's insane.
But then even Johnny said on record like his quarterback room was Brian Hoyer, like he wasn't really that helpful being a leader to him. So like not only was the organization to the coaching staff to even his own teammates helping him out, he never had a shot. So for all that reason, he had a lot of talent. I know you never really was too high on him because of his play style, but to me, I don't think he even had a shot to.
No, it's fair.
Good. So that's how come Johnny Manziel be number 5 on my list.
All right. So we're running on 1:17 here. I think we got time for one more.
We do.
All right, Jasper,
I have one more. All right. So, Preston, you don't have a ton of NFL loyalty. So I don't know how well this one. You just got to pick a team real quick. But which running back would you bring out of retirement, assuming you could wave a magic wand and pop them back to their absolute prime, their best? Who would you want to bring to help your team get their running game back? Adrian Peterson.
Well, that's not fair, Jasper, because I am a Detroit. We are a Detroit Lions fan.
All right. Okay, so you have to do the Lions. We know who Shamar's a Seahawks fan. So to help your team out, to improve their run game, you can magically bring one of these guys back at like 24 or whenever their prime was. We have Adrian Peterson, LaDainian Tomlinson. Am I saying that right?
Tomlinson.
All right, cool. I got his name right. Hell yeah. Yep. Frank Gore, Marshall Falk, Gale Sayers, Jerome Bettis, or Bo Jackson. Who we bringing back to help the team?
All right. I'm going to tell y'all who's not on my list, straight up. Frank Gore, you're gone. I'm sorry. Yep. Gale Sayers, gone. The bus, you're gone. I'm sorry.
Jerome Bettis is gone, yeah. A Steeler getting cut. That's crazy.
Yeah. So to me, the only people on the list, it would either be AP, Adrian Peterson, LT, Marshall Falk as a sleeper, or Bo Jackson, in my opinion. It would be controversial because, and it's going to be controversial. I'm going straight off of potential.
Bo Jackson.
Bo Jackson. It's not close. It would have to be Bo Jackson. Like, even though AP is great, but Damian Thomason would be like the most complete person to put on your team. Bo Jackson being that damn fast and that fucking strong, to me, it's like one of the best. Like, yeah, it would have to be Bo Jackson to me.
I am torn. I get what you're saying. No, beast mode wasn't an option.
It wasn't an option. But no lie, even if beast mode was an option, I always still would take Bo Jackson.
That's crazy.
I would still take Bo Jackson.
I'm torn. I'm torn between 3, and you've already mentioned 3 of them. I'm thinking about just, the Lions' offensive line, and then also the play style that they like to do. You said LaDainian Tomlinson is the most complete back. I agree with that to an extent.
Yeah.
But I think Marshall Faulk is what I think Jahmyr Gibbs can be. I think Jahmyr Gibbs can potentially be a Marshall Faulk.
Okay.
Just with his ability out the backfield. And but then you have to think like Adrian Peterson running behind that offensive line. That's fucking terrifying. It's
I did. I always said Bo Jackson. I know.
And then Daniel's also going to weigh in here. Gale Sayers could dodge defenders with such an ease. He was having a hard time. Yeah. I think I'm going to pick Marshall Faulk just because I think Jahmyr Gibbs is the closest thing to Marshall Faulk, and we see what Jahmyr Gibbs has done in that offense, behind that offensive line. I think I'm going to take Marshall Faulk. That's really hard, though.
Yeah. I don't know. I get what you mean, but I just think, like, Bo Jackson, like, this turnaround, hitting the ball, he run through you or around you.
Yep.
Not many players can do both. And he'll do that, get off the field, and then go play a baseball game. So I'm gonna go take that. I'm gonna take Bo Jackson.
No, I agree. I think that's a great reason to take Bo Jackson. The potential is very tempting. But in the case of the Colts, potential can also get you fired. Look at Anthony Richardson.
But that's competent potential, though.
That's true.
This is different.
No, that's true.
Yeah,
all right, Jasper. What were you saying?
To weigh in, look at, speaking of potential, look at Shamar Stewart. He's with the worst fucking, possible team to fucking develop him. He's an athletic monster. Absolutely, shout out the writers. Our writing staff, our writing staff, and our new consultant have really helped the show out.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of fill in the gaps that we can't. And also shout out Shamar for coming on the show.
100%.
Man. You are such a good guest.
Yeah, no,
of course. I hope to do that more. Hope to come back.
Yeah, we want you. We want you on the show more, man. We want you every chance we can get you. I wish Riley was here. That's the one thing, But
he'll be all right. He'll be here next week.
He will be here next week. So like we said, shout out to the writers once again. Shout out to Jazzy for portraying the writers' questions in a fun, entertaining way. We appreciate you, Jazzy. Shout out Shamar. Shout out everyone who's been watching an hour and 23 minutes in to this fucking live stream. This has been awesome.
Beautiful broadcast.
It's beautiful. We're so excited. Thank you, Daniel. Long live the TTT.
Absolutely. The TTT is going to replace ESPN's football coverage. Mark my words.
Hell yeah. And then obviously shout out Shamar. We appreciate everyone who's been watching. We got a lot of new content coming down the pipeline. We have a short with Jazzy as Aaron Rodgers.
Look what I did to my beard for the bit. It's growing back now, but I had to do Aaron. I don't have his chin, so I just look ugly now. I don't. That man's got the chin of chins.
Yes.
But yeah, go watch me make fun of Aaron Rodgers.
If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. If you're watching this far into it, we really appreciate it. We've got a lot of new stuff coming down the pipeline here at the TTT. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell anyone that loves football and just wants to talk ball. We talk ball with anyone. I don't care who you are. We are the Trash Talk Tailgate. And with that, we got to get out of here, y'all.
Yep, we got to
Peace.
clean up. You got it, bud. I think he's locked up. You got it, Preston?